7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's Morning Kicks Extra with Randy and Jen.
It's the 167th episode of Morning Kicks Extra.
Woohoo! Extra means an extra dose of Randy and Jen.
And while that may not seem like the best idea, it is a great way to catch up on stuff you might have missed out on during the show.
Or things you want to hear again.
Like how it's prom season.
And all those dads are getting ready for summer.
Plus, we're going to be talking about your cell phone horror stories
So let's get things kicked off.
on Morning Kicks Extra.
Morning Kicks Extra with Randy and Jen.
Up in Winnipeg, Canada, a 30-year-old woman was standing in an empty spot, saving it for a family member who was on the way from the other side of the lot.
But another driver got there first in one of the spots, so an argument broke out, and then the driver of the waiting SUV pulled in, as a driver of a waiting SUV would do, hitting the woman and trapping her underneath the four tires. You know, the way that a driver of an SUV...
So the driver then tried to flee the scene, but authorities quickly caught up and arrested him, and the woman was taken to the hospital, treated for lower body injuries.
Now, the driver's going to be parking his butt in a jail cell.
Man, that is some dedication. Getting run over so a family member can have a parking spot.
Yeah, I don't like anyone in my family enough to do that.
This story is brought to you by Uber, where you never have to worry about parking.
Jen's Movie Rehab. This, in case you don't know, is where we assign Jen a movie to go home and watch over the weekend, because before she came to Kick, she had seen very few movies.
And so someone would make a movie reference, and I just would have no idea what they were talking about.
So we assign her a movie on Friday. She goes home and watches it and comes back on Monday and ranks it from 1 to 10. And this last weekend, we assigned her the Robin Williams classic, Patch Adams, because she's been a little under the weather, and we thought some laughter might be good medicine for that.
Which, I mean, I totally get why you assigned the movie now, knowing, having seen it. I had a lot of problems with this movie, though, and I hate to say that because I really do enjoy Robin Williams, and I love the idea or the premise behind this movie of, wanting to treat the whole person, maybe not necessarily, put medicine their way if there's something else that they can do to kind of help this person to fix whatever's ailing them.
Based on a true story.
Which I loved as well, but it's very strange. This guy, he's a medical student, sure, but he's not supposed to be in the hospital and interacting with patients, and he does it anyway. Constantly. He's around these kids. These parents don't know who this man is who's around their kids. And to me, that was kind of weird.
It was back in the 60s, 70s when nobody cared about that sort of thing.
But then also he had an unauthorized hospital clinic thing that he was running, and that was weird to me. And some of them were living there or not living there. And I don't know. I thought the movie was just okay. And then, of course, man, I saw the end of it coming where she went to go visit the one patient at his home. And I was like, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well at all. And then, of course, Patch Adams kind of throws it all away for a little bit. And he's like, oh, no, I don't believe in it anymore. But then in the end, of course, he does believe in his philosophies of laughter's the best medicine. But again, I thought this movie was just okay. I really thought that I was going to like it more than I did. And I didn't.
That's the way I felt about it, too. It's one of my least liked Robin Williams movies. I know it's popular with a lot of people. But as for Robin Williams, I don't think this is his strongest. He's not as funny. Like, you look at Good Morning Vietnam and other movies like that. I think he's a lot funnier.
I think he is too. Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Patch Adams like a 5.5.
Yeah, that's generous. I think that's good.
So we'll find out what I'm watching this Friday for the next rendition of Jen's Movie Rehab.
Morning Kicks Extra with Randy and Jen.
Did you know that this year the pollen count is at record highs?
Is it really?
I forget how many pollens, how many particulates per, however they measure that, but it is close to 1,000 more than it was in previous years.
I don't really know what that means, but it sounds like a lot.
It is. We'll just assume that it is. There's a lot more junk in the air that you're breathing, causing your body to react to that. So people that sound like Jen, totally normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're suffering. Your body is trying to reject all of these things.
So you never answered my question. How is your nose?
My nose? My nose is fine. How's your nose?
Well, clearly not that well. Not as good as your nose. I'm sneezing and coughing, and I got all the allergy things going on right now.
If only your nose could be as good as mine.
It tries. It really. Your nose is one to aspire to.
I think it's aspire, perspire.
Perspire, right, thank you.
Yeah, there it is. Can't stop my sneezing. It's not a cold. The budding of the trees gave me a stuffy nose. Give me a Kleenex, I'm gonna blow. It will be months until the pollen count is low. And now my eyes are red and itchy, and I've got post-nasal drip. I am sniffling and snorting a whole lot. Ooh, always got nasal spray with me, tape and a drill every morning. But my head head just keeps on making lots of snot. Allergic to trees, allergic to mold, making me sneeze 20 times in a row. Every year when I see flowers grow, I feel so crappy. My nose filling up with goo from the plant. If you're close, then I will sneeze on you from the plant. Running until budding season through the plant. Feeling tired all afternoon from the pollen. I can't stop the sneezing from the plant. I can't stop the sneezing from the plant. Pollen.
Morning Kicks Extra with Randy and Jen.
Prom for Joplin is happening this weekend, which is way earlier.
It does feel like wasn't it like in May or at least end of April before?
Normally it is, yeah. But you know why it is?
No, I have no idea why.
Because of leap year. Everything is still up because of leap year. Leap year screws everything
That
up.
was last year, though.
Yes, it is, and we're still suffering the effects of it.
Okay.
So even though they're having prom, and a lot of them weren't expecting it, weren't prepared for it, you imagine the little prom girl who's trying to get a dress ready, you know, the one with the headgear.
Oh,
and
the
all
braces,
the braces and everything. And she had to settle for a date with Conrad at the last minute. Yeah, and he's probably going to end up standing her up. This is what it'll be like.
Conrad asked me to go to the prom. I said that I would love to go to the prom. He drank a pint of booze that night at the prom. He barfed up on my shoes that night at the prom. Night at the prom. Night at the prom. Then he dumped me right after the prom. After the prom.
Morning Kicks Extra.
We're talking today about your cell phone horror stories.
What is your cell phone horror story?
So it's not my story, it's my mom's, but the repercussion was like it affected all of us, her kids, right?
Okay.
So her lover sent her this picture of himself, and she's not very tech savvy, so she gets on Facebook, and she can't see the pictures really well because they're kind of small. It's my sister's birthday, and she thinks that she's tagging the picture of, like, all of us girls, and she's like, happy sweet 16, I love you, blah, 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 right? And she tags this dirty picture with all of us in it, like our names on Facebook. So everybody, all of our friends and everything, seeing this picture. My sister gets on there for her birthday and is like, oh my gosh. Oh, it was hilarious. So needless to say, my mom isn't allowed to be on Facebook anymore.
Here's your birthday package.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday to you. Wow.
What is your cell phone horror story?
This is a horror story. My husband and I were texting back and forth, and you know there's one text. You got to keep your marriage alive, right?
Yeah, the dirty girl text, right?
Well, like
Randy.
Now, come on.
in the midst of all this, my son's daughter texts me to talk about me picking her up from school.
How old is she?
17.
17. Okay, the perfect age.
Anyway, you know how when you're texting, sometimes it goes to the wrong? Anyway, yeah, I sent a particularly descriptive text, and it went to her. And the next thing, when my phone went off, and I looked at it, she goes, excuse me? And I was like, oh, my God. I didn't even look at her after that. I was like, I'm sorry.
Grandma, what a dirty mind you have. Could you imagine, though? I mean, in that moment when you realize what you've done and it's too late and you go,
It's mortifying. You're like, no, come back. I can't unsend it. No.
What is your cell phone horror story?
Well, let me give you a little background here to explain why this is so bad.
Okay.
My husband and I have been together for 3 years. We've been married for 1. But in high school, my mother and his father dated for 4 years. So it's always been kind of awkward between my mother and my mother-in-law because of that.
Understandably.
My son was born in April of this last year, and when I was sending pictures to them, my mother was out of town, and so was my mother-in-law. And my mom pushed reply to all
Oh, no.
and responded, I better get to hold him first. Don't let anyone hold him until I get there. And my mother-in-law got this message.
Oh.
As well as my father and my sister and everyone else.
And the competition was on.
It was, and guess She was right in the middle.
You and the baby.
Yeah, pretty much. So I had to share that.
Nothing like an inner family feud, is there?
It's Morning Kicks Extra with Randy and Jen.
And we're talking about your cell phone horror stories. The time you trashed your cell phone.
Or maybe the time you sent the wrong text to the wrong person.
What was yours?
Well, we were out filling up this big stock tank, and I just said, I'm going to jump in. And brand new stock tank, so it's clean and stuff, and I jump in. I'm sitting in there, and I realize my phone is in my pocket.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that phone was not waterproof, so it was destroyed.
Oh, no.
That's what you get for getting in the cow's water.
Pretty much.
What is your cell phone horror story?
It wasn't me. It was my mom's dog. He got a hold of it, destroyed it, peed on it, pooped on it. You name it, he did it to my phone.
Aww.
Here's what I think about your long-distance carrier.
Yeah, basically.
We had neighbors that had Great Danes, and they ate.
They eat everything.
Ate the woman's flip phone. This is one of the older phones, one of the little Nokias.
Yeah.
Swallowed it whole. They discovered what had happened to her phone, so they couldn't find the phone, and they're looking for it. And they called it and could hear it ringing inside the dog. Actually heard it inside the dog.
That's going to be a bad day when you get that cell phone back.
Yeah, or could you imagine the bill?
Oh. What is your
cell phone horror story? 623-1025.
So I was talking to this guy, and I was sitting particularly naughty pictures.
Uh-oh.
I didn't have the number saved, nor did I have my child preschool teacher's number saved.
Oh, no.
And I sent them to the preschool teacher.
Oh, no.
Billy got an A that year.
Bad.
What's your cell phone horror story?
My stepdad was showing a friend of his picture of his deer, and he said there's a couple pictures on there, just flip through them, and he walked off. Well, next thing you know, he starts flipping through the whole album, and very provocative pictures of my mother.
Oh, and I bet as a child you love knowing those exist.
Guys turning red in his face, and we're all laughing.
Those were the real deer pictures he had.
Yeah, the white-tailed deer.
Yeah, I hope you have tags for that one.
It's Morning Kicks Extra with Randy and Jen.
We're talking today about your cell phone horror stories.
Maybe you accidentally trashed your phone, or maybe you sent a text to the wrong person.
What's yours?
I dropped it in a glass of milk.
Oh, that's a new one.
And the funny thing is, I took it apart and dried it out, and it still works.
Yes, but did it stay crunchy?
Don't you know it's supposed to be cookies you drop in milk?
But it was so tasty.
Take your word for that.
What is your cell phone horror story?
Well, my husband had sent a picture of himself a couple of months ago.
Oh, to you?
And that's not a normal thing for us. And so I didn't even think to erase it, whatever. I did respond, but I'll tell you that in a minute. So my daughter is like 9. She can read. And she's on my phone and said, Mommy, that's a picture of Aaron. And I said, oh, and she said, and you said, that's hot. What do? I'm like, I could have blamed it on him, but I did respond.
You did respond, Mom.
It was erased promptly.
What you do is you say, sweetie, mommies have needs too.
What is your cell phone horror story?
I was kind of seeing somebody else and cheating on my boyfriend.
Uh-oh.
And I sent a dirty text message, and I used the other guy's name.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
You walked off backflip, didn't you?
I covered it up, and he never knew a thing.
Are you still with that guy?
No. We broke up, 4 or 5 months ago.
Imagine that. What is your cell phone horror story?
My husband is a truck driver, and he comes home. We're supposed to go out with friends that evening for my birthday. Mm-hmm. And he says to me, well, since it's going to be a late night, I'm going to take my shower now, and we'll basically get a little quickie before we go out. That's all fine and good.
Oh, boy.
He accidentally had pressed the button for the speed dial. The whole process. The shower, the quickie,
Wait, you mean someone stayed on the line the entire time to hear all of that?
Well, yeah, they did, Jen. Everybody likes a good show. And one you don't have to pay for is even better.
Morning Kicks Extra with Randy and Jen.
Hey, join us on the next edition of Morning Kicks Extra.
We're going to be talking about kid haircuts.
You know the time your kid give themselves a haircut?
In the meantime, don't forget to check out our blog at Kicks1025.com.
You can check out all of the latest Morning Kicks
Kicks karaoke songs.
And you can watch us live on most social platforms every weekday morning starting at 7.
Make sure to like, follow, and smash that subscribe button.
Don't miss Morning Kicks with Randy and Jen. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on the 4 states' #1 for country. Kicks 102.5.